Hi, I'm Dennis Chapman. I'm the founder of 40 Cans for Lent. It's a program that is just amazing to me how it became available to me. And I'm going to tell you the story. 40 Cans for Lent became available to me September 25th of 2010. It's basically an idea from a vision that I received at 4 o'clock in the morning on that Saturday about how to feed Jesus Christ's hungry people. It's a way to answer the prayers of the hungry, and that's why 40 Cans for Lent was started on that particular day, that morning. Well, first of all, it's Jesus Christ's food drive. It's not mine. I won't take any credit. We give all the glory and praise to Him because Jesus Christ created it through me to feed His hungry people. If I was asked them that morning, can you donate 1 can of food for 40 days? And I said, yes, I can. And he said, this is how simple my plan is. It's this simple that every Christian, all people can do his plan and make a difference in this world and feed his hungry people. His plan can be the answers to the many prayers of the hungry people that occur each and every day. Hunger has no season, and so that he realized that during Lent is a great way to cover the opportunity to feed the hungry people. Because of the Thanksgiving and the Christmas seasons are over, the food pantries and all the food charities need help to get them through until the next upcoming Thanksgiving. Well, 40 Cans for Lent was given to me as a plan to help donate. And so I ask all you, can you donate 1 can of food for 40 days? Simple. And that's what was said to me. It's a simple plan that everyone does it. And it's a great plan. And as I committed to him on that morning, I said I will be his servant to spread his message and to feed this hungry people. Well, that morning on that September 25th, first of all, couldn't believe what I was hearing, and I wrote it down. And that morning we had a Knights of Columbus Riggs Road cleanup here in front of our church, and I expressed it to some of our knights at that time, and they said, hey, that sounds very, very interesting. But it all kicked off when I went to work on that Monday morning, September 27th, when I introduced this to some of my coworkers. And we Googled 40 Cans for Lent because I didn't want to be a copycat of anything. You know, I didn't think I didn't want to say, oh, this has already started. I didn't hear this right. Well, when we Googled 40 Cans for Lent on that particular morning, there was nothing on the internet that ever described this food drive. And so that was a message right then and that this is a true food drive for his plan. So I went in, and the bottom line is that I had to meet a man that I had friction with at work. And so this man was a man that I disliked very much. But in respect of that morning, let me go back earlier that year. I started reciting a forgiveness prayer and a miracle prayer. And that miracle prayer and the forgiveness prayer, I said every day at lunch because I wanted to get closer to Jesus, but I also wanted to clean my heart of the anger that I had toward this man. So I used this prayer, and it's basically a forgiveness prayer and a miracle prayer. And I kept reading it, and I read it, but to shorten the story, I'll say July of 2010, the man I hated the most crossed my path at my birthday celebration in my team's office that month, along with other coworkers. But he never showed up to any other birthday parties. So I thought to myself, why this month? and why during my birthday. And so I just knew what I was doing, and I knew I truly forgiven the man I hated. And so with that, I got a piece of cake. And being a diabetic as I am, I couldn't eat that cake, but I passed that cake to him. And I said these words, Joe, can you eat my cake? 'Cause since I cannot eat it. And he took it from there. And so then in month of August of 2010, we're in church every week. I think I heard, or even maybe in September as well, if today you hear his voice, harden not your hearts. And I kept hearing that song, and I kept thinking, why is they playing that song over and over? And I turned my wife in the pew, and I said, honey, they're playing that song again. And I don't know why I paid attention so much to that one song. I don't know. But then here we come September 25th, 2010, I got that vision. And so anyway, the man that I hated the most, I went to him because they were said he was the only tech person that we had in the office that could maybe do some things and, look at it. And so I sat down with him knowing that I had forgiven him, but he did not know any of this was taking place on my part. And so I took it and gave it to him. And then he said, let me review it. Let me look at this. And so he called me back into his office. He's being a supervisor as well. And I said, we sat down and talked, and he said, hey, Dennis, he says, and his name was Joe. And Joe says, you got something special here. And this is what I've done for you. And he set up Facebook. He set up Twitter. At that time, he set up a phone number. He set up an email address. He did all of that for me, that the person he hated as well. But he did all that not knowing I had forgiven him. And that touched my heart deeply. And today I call Joe as my brother. I explained to him that I had been praying for him and forgiving him for all the anger that we have. But the moral of that story was I didn't know why his anger was coming toward me. And he had lost 2 babies in miscarriages. He had a devastating wife that was severely depressed, and his anger was being driven through me, not toward anybody else. And so I told him, I said, I wish I would have been a better man at that time to support you in your trial of depression and all that. And so I said, it doesn't matter what it does mean to me now, Joe. It matters now that I have forgiven you. And Joe, what you've done for me is touched my heart, and I will never, ever forget that in the rest of my life. And so from that day point going forward, after we Googled it, I had specific instructions. The instructions from the vision, it laid out that I needed to contact, first of all, I needed to get it approved by our Knights of Columbus 8306 Council on that Wednesday. And the bottom line was, it was so specific that I had to raise 8,306 cans. And second of all, I had to contact the Supreme Office of the Knights of Columbus headquarters in New Haven, Connecticut, to make sure that what I heard was that organization was the only organization that God trusted to get his plan worldwide. And so I did all that, and I started that. Now, understand, this is September 27th, October 6th, all of in this time frame of 2010. And we're talking about Lent of 2011. 6 months. I have no idea how to even run a food drive. I did not know how to do nothing. I mean, I was bare. I mean, why was I given this? I don't know. But I accepted it as his servant for Jesus Christ. And so 2011 is when it all started. And thank God I said yes. Thank God I continue with my being his servant. And things have worked out very well since that day. And lessons learned, because God's truly in control of this plan. And I have been proving that to myself by trying to do my way instead of his way. So it's pretty inspirational. And where I plan to go with this, my dream is to say, if every Christian can hear this voice of mine, just know that God is asking you, can you donate 1 can of food for 40 days? His 40 days, not mine. His 40 days. And bring all the glory and praise to him at this time. Well, this Lent, what we're doing here at Our Lady Guadalupe Church, which I think is a special church in my heart, because why God chose me, why God chose the Knights of Columbus 8306, and why did he choose Our Lady Guadalupe Church in Helotes, Texas? That's beyond my answers, but all I know is that this church has supported from day one very well. I mean, we had 119 barrels of food on 2011, and that showed to me that this church is behind this program. The type of food that we're getting is anything with cans of food, boxes of mac and cheese, instant potatoes. As long as it's non-perishable, we are taking it to our charitable organizations as our own food pantry here, the Neighborly House of St. Vincent de Paul Society, and Catholic Charities. We were with the San Antonio Food Bank for the first 12 years, but I mean, for the first 10 years, but due to the COVID and all the issues that occurred, we couldn't support 3 organizations. So we're down to 2. And, you know, we take any type of food, as long as it's non-perishable, that you think that you would love to donate, and we'll donate it to those organizations to feed his hungry people. I got another request today for Hamburger Helper. So maybe we can donate that starting going forward. Anything. I mean, noodles, pastas, rice, those are all big items that they need. Peanut butter, that is the most wanted item. I mean, tuna, chicken breast cans. We have theme weekends that we have so we can overload those food pantries with those items of the most wanted. I know there's 17 items in our church bulletin, but I don't recall them at this particular time. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, God bless you all, and God bless America, and God bless our Lord Jesus Christ for his plan of 40 cans for Lent. Amen.